So, you want to start decluttering in the new year, and you came to me for advice? I'm flattered, so here's what I would do. If you are new here, hi, I'm Libby, and I've been decluttering for the last 2 years. I had to downsize from a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom to a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 500 square foot apartment, and I had a lot of stuff, and now I have a lot less stuff. I think the first step in reaching any goal or anything that we want to change in our lives is we first have to change the environment that we are in, right? We all have a lot of different goals for the New Year's, but if your environment stays the same, we tend to snap back into old habits. And January is the absolute perfect time to start decluttering because it's cold outside. It's sometimes snowy outside, not right now, but it's still chilly, and everything is still asleep and hibernating. So I think we should take a cue from that, and we can start cleaning our homes and getting our homes ready and refreshed for spring so that we can go outside and do all the gardening and all the things that we like and not worry about having to declutter inside when it's so nice outside because we focused on it in the winter. I'm just saying. So here's exactly what I would do if I was starting all over again. I've learned a lot. I've learned what not to do and what to do. So let me share that with you. The first thing I would absolutely 100% do again is start small. I have ADHD, depression, anxiety. It's a jumble up here, okay? So I am going to get overwhelmed insanely quickly and stop doing it completely. I believe I started in my kitchen and I started with my silverware. I literally went through my silverware and then I went through my cups and my plates and like one cabinet. It was cups, plates, and bowls. I went through that. And then I think I went through the utensil drawer. Those are the 3 drawers that I went to out of that entire kitchen that I used to live in. I went through those 3 things, decluttered that, and that was the perfect small start. I didn't get overwhelmed. I didn't take everything out of the kitchen and put it in the middle and have to decide what I needed to get rid of, all of it right then and there. Start with baby steps. It helps so much. I think I got rid of like 1 small box of things, and that was like the best feeling ever. Small steps lead to huge success. And how I chose what rooms to start with or what things to start with was I picked my biggest problem areas, is what I like to call them. The places that you walk into your house and you just are automatically stressed looking at it. The visual clutter just drives you nuts, okay? For me, in my old house, it was the hallway, upstairs, and the kitchen. Those were my 2 biggest problem areas, and those are the 2 areas that I tackled first. In this apartment right now, you can't see them, but there's still Aldi's bags. I always have Aldi's bags in front of my entertainment center, and I can't get out of that cycle. I will work on it, but I can't get out of the dang cycle. And then right in front of my back door is where my recycles and everything just goes to die. Those are my 2 visual big problem areas, and I will work on those. I will continue to work on those, okay? Problem areas first. Recognize them, start on them, small steps at a time. If it's a big room, get those done first, and you'll have much more motivation to move on to bigger projects. If you have a big space, like I said, I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. I got a trash bag and I just went to work. Okay, I got a trash bag. I filled everything in that hallway in 1 trash bag. I think I got 3 trash bags full. And I have videos in my whole series of 1 garbage bag at a time showing you exactly how I did this and how motivating it is to have 1 trash bag filled up. You fill up 1 trash bag. You assess how you're feeling, how you're doing. Good. You either put it down and you're done for the day, or you keep going with another trash bag. That is how I decluttered my office, my bedroom, my son's room, and the living room. That is how I decluttered the majority of that house. I mean, you don't have to use a trash bag. You can use like a box or whatever is accessible to you. I just had a plentiful of the giant black trash bags, so that's what I used. This next one comes with time, but you need to build your decluttering muscle, okay? Over time, it gets so much easier and it becomes almost a reflex to declutter, okay? And I know that might sound crazy if you're just starting at your journey, but I promise you, you kind of view your home in a completely different way and you view stuff in a completely different way. I can do an entire video on that because it has completely changed my mindset. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Walking around the house and viewing things that are visual clutter helps you build your muscle, helps you just realize, okay, I don't need this. This is taking up space. This is taking up mental space, okay? Those are the things that are going to help you in the long run become a better clutter-free person, right? Like, it's taken me 2 years to get to this point, and I'm not clutter-free. I still have clutter, but I've come a long way. For example, I had a huge tote full of my son's baby clothes. That tote took me 2 hours to declutter, and it derailed me for 2 whole days, okay? And then I had to go through a storage unit where I had 6 or 7 boxes of his baby clothes, and I knocked them out within an hour just to go kind of, go through it, organize it, what needed to maybe get trashed and donated. It works over time. And that brings me to this point. If you are somebody who is like me, who has a lot of trauma, you have a lot of mental things happening, maybe hold off on the emotional stuff until you have built that decluttering muscle. For example, took me 2 hours and 2 days off of my decluttering schedule because of one tote full of baby clothes. I would not do that again. I would recognize this is a tote full of baby clothes. I'm going to set this down and I'm going to move on until I'm ready to do it. I had a time frame, so I kind of needed to get it done. I always assess how it's going to affect me mentally and emotionally, and if I am prepared for that. That's one thing that I would have done a lot differently. I would have decluttered the easier stuff, and that's different for everybody, because maybe your closet is easy for you, but for me, as somebody who struggles with disordered eating and body dysmorphia, the closet used to be one of my biggest nemesises. I had clothes from high school that I was still keeping. I had clothes from pre-child that I was still keeping because I was going to fit into it one day. And going through that is extremely mentally taxing, and it can derail your progress. So starting with things that are very easy, maybe like your office. Maybe you have a lot of paper clutter in your office you need to go through. Maybe you have a living room you can go through. There are the kitchen. The kitchen usually isn't super emotional. There's certain places and things you can tackle to help build up your resilience. I promise you it does get easier to go through all of those emotional things. I'm not going to say you're not going to cry, you're not going to bawl, and you might have an anxiety attack or two. I did. So just make sure you're prepared for that and you have the support system around you to help you, because it's imperative. I guess that brings me to my next point is I did have a timeline when I was decluttering my storage unit and when I was decluttering the house. I had to move by, I had 6-7 months to declutter before I had to move, and then I had to get my storage unit within that 6-7 months too. So I had a timeline, but I would encourage you to work at your own pace. Decluttering is an experience that's different for everybody, and it looks different for everyone. And I know that I share everything with the world here, and I appreciate comments and feedback, but people can be like, God, it's taking you forever to go through, like when I moved in here, it was like, people are like, it's taking you forever to go through like 3 boxes. And I'm like, I know it is, but I am a full-time working mom. I'm going through a lot. I'm a lot better now, but like that first initial move in, there was so many different changes and so many things that like people don't see going on, that it's imperative that you work at your own pace, even if it doesn't make sense for other people, whether that's fast or slow or somewhere in the middle. If it makes sense for you and works for you, do it. That's the only thing that is going to help you in the long run. Following someone else's timeline or trying to take everybody else's advice and implementing it all at the same time is not going to be helpful. It's going to be detrimental. So I hope this gave you the information that you needed to help you with your decluttering this year and helping to get your energy in your house back up and just making it your own space and making it work for you, because your house should work for you, not the other way around. So friends, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.